All right, so we've customized the look of our free WordPress site a little bit. Now it's time to start working on content. Since we're creating a static website with just some pages that will be there for a long time, and I'm not planning on doing, weekly blog posts or things like that, I'm going to do most of my work here in the dashboard in Pages. So let's click on Pages and then All Pages. And you see we have this About page that was a default one, and I think we edited it, but I'm going to go ahead and actually get rid of that because I want to start fresh. So I'm going to move this item to the trash by clicking Trash. Now what I do want to do is I want to make sure that it's deleted permanently. So this page shows that there are no pages because there are no active pages, but it keeps that page in the trash, which is kind of helpful if you didn't want to delete it. But I want to delete it permanently, so I'm going to go here to that page and click Delete Permanently. So now when it comes to the site, there are no pages on there whatsoever. So let's add a new one. So under the Pages tab, I'm going to click Add New. And I think we need to get a nice home page. So it always asks you to enter the title, so I'm going to click Home. And then I'm going to paste some content that I already had for it. Customize it a little bit. The nice thing about WordPress is it has so many options for you to create the look of the text that you like. So it has everything that you would have in a word processor like Microsoft Word. So you can do bold, you can do italics, you can do different sizes of text. You can even paste from Microsoft Word, which is really good because it has a little bit more formatting in Microsoft Word, and it will make that appear just the way that you want it to. You can do hyperlinks, you can add pictures. Up here it has the upload insert. You can do media, so if you want to do a recording file of yours, you could do that. Add polls. The media will take care of the pictures too, and then a custom form, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But this is my new home page. So what I do is I go over to the right hand side and I click the Publish button. And then it should be up there. It says Page Published. I'm going to click View Page. So I've got Durham Clarinet Lessons and then Home. We're going to have, the reason it shows two homes here is because we have to change the default page in the theme, but we'll do that towards the end. So I'm going to go back to my dashboard. And let's do another page because that's just kind of a greeting. So I'm going to add a new page. And then let's call this one About Us. I guess it's just about me, but that's all right. So let me go and grab the text for that. And as I put it in, it doesn't have quite the same formatting. I like an extra space between paragraphs, but that's just me. So now this is the About Us page. So I'm going to click on Publish. And it says it's up there, so I'm going to click View Page. Great. So now I've got two pages, the About Us and the Home page. I am going to get rid of that extra link for the home here in a minute. Let's put the rest of these up. So back to the dashboard. Since we teach music lessons, I think it's appropriate that we add information for private lessons. So I'm going to go to Pages, Add New. And let's call this Private Lessons. And I've got my schedule, I've got my lesson rates on here. You can do whatever you like. Some people like to put up their whole policies. That works too. I'm just going to format this a bit. All right. So there I've got that. Let's go ahead and publish that. Click on View Page. And there's my private lesson page. Formatting's a little bit odd. I could play with that later. But it has all the information that I need. It's got my phone number, my address, lesson rates, and my schedule. So I like that. Let's go back to the dashboard. I also do some chamber music, so I'm going to add a page for chamber music. Oops, so let's add a new page. Okay, so I lost the bold formatting. So all I have to do is highlight this and click bold, and then it will show up bold. You know, if I wanted to do italics, I could do italics as well, but we'll just leave it as bold. Having these pages is really quite nice because if you get emails all the time, what are your rates? For chamber music, I get similar questions, and this chamber music is really just my policies. And so it's just helpful to refer people there rather than in every email, writing the same exact thing. So you can see my rates on this page and provide a link, which is nice. Because I find myself typing the same thing over and over again, and it gets a bit wearisome. And that would frankly be the benefit of using a blog too. You could, kind of answer, questions that come up all the time that are rather lengthy responses, and then just refer people over to that. So I think I've got the chamber music up, so let's publish that. And let's view that page. Excellent. So now I've got that page up, and you can see that the formatting carried through. I've got, bold type here, and I like it. I actually like it a lot. So let's go back to the dashboard. There's one thing missing, right? And that is a contact form. People are going to come to the site. I do have my phone number on one page, but I think we need something more. And so this gets into the issue of putting your email address up there. The problem with putting your email address on a blog or a website like this is that there are, these programs that scour the web for email addresses, and that's really the source of a lot of the ridiculous email messages that we get. Most of them go to the junk folder, but they always pop up every once in a while in your inbox, promoting weird things and having hyperlinks to things that you wouldn't be interested in. And so I think it's probably a better practice to not display your email address, but people are online. They're probably not going to pick up the phone and call you as their default option. So we need to have a new page to contact. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on Add a New Page again. And then I'm going to title this Contact Us. And what we want to do, this is so cool, we can add a form. So you fill these out all the time online, where you fill out a form and then it emails somebody. So up here in the top where it says Upload Insert, we can click Add a Custom Form. I do want their name, and that's going to be required, so I'm going to leave that. I do need their email address, and that's required, so I'm going to leave that. The website, I don't need to know their website. A lot of these people coming to me for lessons won't have their own website, so I want to edit that one. And so I can change the label from website. Let's do phone number. If we wanted to, we could delete this field altogether, but I always like to get a phone number. And the field type, let's set this as text. So that just means it will accept whatever they submit. So if they do it, in a certain format, it doesn't really matter. It'll all email to me. And then this will be required. Or you could uncheck it and have it not be required. And then the last box here is called comment. Let's change that. I'm going to change it to message. You can do what you like. And this is required because I do want to receive this. So I'm going to click Save this field. Under email notifications, I'm going to go ahead and put in my email, because this is where the email is going to go. and what should the subject line be. This is always helpful to identify because you want to be able to just glance your email and know that this came from the site. So I'm going to say contact from Durham Clarinet Lessons, and then save and go back to Form Builder. There's my form, and I'm going to click Add Form to my post. And so what we have here is, it looks like a bunch of gibberish. This is actually programming code, and it doesn't really matter what it looks like. The good news is that it works. So I'm going to click Update, and then let's see how it looks. All right. So we've got the Contact Us form. Since I'm already logged in, it's showing my name and my email address. Let's go to another browser really quick, and I'll show you what it looks like there. Okay, so if I click on the Contact Us button, then this is all blank. And so I could enter, let's see, my name is Scott. Whenever I do these, I always do Scott Test. My email address, let's put in an email address. Not a phone number, and a message. Hey, I would like lessons, please. And then submit. Perfect. So there's the message that was sent. It's still on our website, which is good. And then let's go and check my email. So here's the email. It says Scott Test, contact from Durham Clarinet Lessons. And so I've got the message right here. This is fantastic because I don't have my email address published on the internet, but people can still contact me for lessons. I really, really, really like that feature. So that's all set. Now, one thing I do notice is that we've got two home buttons, so we want to get rid of that. Let's go back to the dashboard. And if you recall, when we first set up the site, we set up the default home page as the About Us. So we need to change that to the new home page. So let's go to Appearance and click on Themes. And then Customize right in the center of the screen. And this is where we did some work before, so this should look familiar. But the static front page displays your latest posts. No, let's change that to a static page, and let's do our home page. And then up at the top, click Save and Publish, and then close. Let's go back and check out the site. Excellent. So now I've just got a home page. I don't have that extra tab that didn't really go anywhere, and then I've got everything else. Now, the only other thing I don't like about this, well, there are two things I should say. I don't like the order of the pages. So let's go back and change that. Again, if you recall, when we set it up initially, we said that we would order the pages in the navigation bar by their page order. So let's go to Pages and click All Pages. And so what we want to do is now we want to assign each of these a number, and that will be the order that they appear. So for this, I want to do Quick Edit and order. This will be number 1. So my home page is now first in line. And then I think the bio should go next. So let's do About Us, Quick Edit, order 2. And click Update. And then I think I want the private lessons next. So it's Quick Edit. That'll be number 3. And then chamber music, we'll do a quick edit for that. Let's name that number 4. And then I'd like the Contact Us page to be the last one. Quick edit, and that will be 5. So I've given them each a number to place them in order. So let's go back to the site. Excellent. So it shows up Home, About Us, Private Lessons, Chamber Music, Contact Us. and I can start to navigate through the site by clicking on the different links, either in this navigation bar, which I really like, or in this site navigation on the right. Awesome. And then I've got the contact us form. Again, it's filling in with my information because I'm already logged in. The only other thing that I would like to do is to get rid of the leave a reply section, because people are not going to, well, they might, but I don't want them to leave comments here. They're going to display on the website. So we talked about that earlier as well, but I'll just show you one more time. Go back to the dashboard, and then click on All Pages. And what we have to do is we have to go to the Quick Edit in each page and uncheck Allow Comments. I don't want comments, so click Update, and we're going to do this for each of them. Okay, so I've updated all those pages. Let's go back to the website. So on the home page, there's no option to add any comments to this. And so this is perfect. This is a nice static website with a lot of information about my lessons. Let's just take a look when I'm not logged in. So let's log out. And we'll have to go back to the site. Okay, so there was an edit button down at the bottom. That was because we were logged in. But I've got the title, I've got my tagline, I've got my navigation bar, I've got the site navigation on the right, and I've got all the content that I wanted to put in. So I'm very pleased with this. This, I think, looks really nice, and this would be a good way to present the website to prospects. And yeah, I think that's great. So that should take care of it. You can add whatever content you want. There's a ton of other things you could do, but this is a great first step to getting your website up and running, and it didn't really take all that long. Thank you so much, and good luck.